this video, I wanted to go ahead and teach you guys how to crochet around in the front loops only. So you'll see this notated in the pattern FLO, front loop only. So let's go ahead and get started. When you're crocheting around in the front loops only, what you want to do is you want to take a look at the braid from the prior round, or the top edge of the prior round. You can see there's a loop that's closest to you, and there's a loop that's furthest back from you. So when you're in the front, working in the front loop only, you're only working in this front loop right here. You're leaving the back loop unworked. Okay, so let's try it. We'll do a single crochet around in the front loops only. So we go from down underneath the loop, and we're going to come up through between the two loops. We're coming up through the middle. Okay, so now we've got the two here. We're going to yarn over from the back, pull that forward. Now we've got our two working loops. Yarn over from the back again and pull it through those first two loops. Okay, let's do another one. We're going to go in from underneath the braid, but coming up through the center, the middle of the braid, leaving the back loop unworked. Yarn over, pull that forward, yarn over again, and pull that through. Let's do another. Go in underneath the braid, coming up through the middle, between the two edges, the two loops. Go ahead and yarn over, pull forward, yarn over again, and pull through those two loops. Oops. So see, if I go like that, if I go through both loops, it's as if I'm working a single crochet. If I want to do it through front loops only, again, only through that front loop. Leave the back loop unworked. Yarn over, pull forward, yarn over, and pull through. Always come up through the center between the two loops. Okay, I've reached the end, and I'm going to go ahead and move my stitch marker to my new round. As you can see, behind on the inside of our piece is the back loop that we left behind. So it leaves this ridge on the interior of the piece, and then you can continue working, depending on what the pattern is calling for. It may ask you to start increasing if it wants it to fan out more. And a lot of times you'll see stuff like this if you're could be making a hat, and you wanted it to have this fold in, and then working increases would allow it to become flat and start working out. So that's an option. I've seen it used for cupcake tops. I've also seen in my own pieces, I've worked for my Adeline doll that I have a video for as well. Her boots, I work this way, and then at the top edge of her boot, I work in the front loops only. So that way I leave the back loops to then connect a skin color of yarn, and then I build single crochets up from there. So then it ends up having the lip of the boot around her leg, and I don't have to create a foot or anything that needs to go inside the boot. I just started it from here to create her leg. So that was working in the front loops only and leaving those back loops behind. Again, you can either work into them if you want to. If you want to build something else in a different color and just have this as a ridge on the edge, or you can just leave it unworked, and it just creates kind of a fanning out at this round. On the Adeline doll that I made for the book that I wrote, I did work in the front loops only. As you can see here, I worked into the front loops only. I left the back loops, and then I started the black part of her leggings directly into the back loops. So I picked up those stitches from behind and started working up her leg. So that gave me the ridge that I wanted around the boot, leaving that braid, the full braid, visible, and so that it looks like she pulled them on instead of it being totally connected to the leg. The same thing I did up at the leggings. So I went ahead and worked again in the front loops only of that last row, leaving behind the back loops, and then I took her skin color and I attached it to the back loops, and then I continued working up her legs and her body. So that's just kind of a nice example of what you might do by working in the front loops only, why you might want to use that. Sometimes I've seen too, I worked a dolphin amigurumi one time where they just had you do front loops only for a small section of it, and it created, if this was the nose, it created just that ridge where the head then continued up. So it just creates that kind of a angle that you might want in your amigurumi piece. So you don't necessarily go all the way around with the front loop only. A lot of times it is just a few stitches, and that would give you that line that you need so that the piece has a different shape to it. I hope this helped you learn the purposes of using front loop only and how to do the front loop only stitch. So in the next video, I'm going to teach you how to work in the back loops only and the purposes for working only in the back loops, what you might use that for when you're working some new amigurumi patterns. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe.